Lesson 2.2 on the chain rule. There are two ways to think of the chain rule. One is think of it as a composite function, when there's one function inside of another one. And then the chain rule is the derivative of the outside times the derivative of the inside. That's one way to think of the chain rule. The second way to think of it as a general power rule. So the derivative times the hook, and we're going to call that the hook that follows. So I'm going to be aware to see what I'm doing in terms of the chain rule. Here, to find the derivative, take the exponent times in front, that's 2. Write the base over again, don't change it. Subtract 1 to the exponent. I don't need a 1, I'll put it there. And then the derivative of this base, what's inside the parentheses, that's what's called the hook. And you've just taken the derivative. So that's called the chain rule. You can think of it as a chain at the end, something that hooks on at the end. Alright, so the derivative here, the derivative of sine is cosine. Write down 3x. And then the derivative of what's inside, 3x, that's 3. And again, that's called the hook. Here, we need to write it calculus friendly. So that's 3x squared subtract x. So this is going to be 3 over 2. Then, when I take the derivative, 3 over 2 times 1 in front. Write the base, don't mess with it. Subtract 1. So 3 take away 2 is 1, and use the same denominator. And then the derivative of what's inside the parentheses, that's called the hook. So that's 6x minus 1. And again, that's called the hook. And number 4, be careful with trigonometry. It might be helpful to rewrite it this way. They mean the same thing. So to take the derivative, the exponent 2 times 1 in front. Subtract 1 to the exponent. I'm not going to put a 1 there now. It's there. Times, what's the derivative of the base? What's inside the parentheses? So that's negative sine x. I'll put it right there, negative sine x. And you've taken the derivative. Number 5, I need to write it calculus friendly. So that's going to be 2x plus 1 to the exponent negative 1. Then I'm going to take the derivative, that's negative 2x plus 1 to the negative 2, and then the derivative of what's inside the parentheses, that's 2, that's called the hook. Now, it's important to know you could also write it this way. They're equivalent. Could you do that? Negative 2, and then the negative exponent in the denominator. Could you rewrite it properly if you had to, like multiple choice? If this was one of the solutions, could you match it up? 6, again, when it's trigonometry, I think it's helpful to rewrite this. So this is sine 4t squared all to the exponent 3. And so this is going to have a double hook. So 3 times 1 in front is 3, and then write down sine 4t squared times the derivative of sine is cosine, so we write down cosine, again 4t squared, and then the derivative of 4t squared is 8t. So be patient here. This had a double hook involved. So first I handled the 3 and subtract 1 to the exponent. I should do that. There it is. Then the derivative of sine is cosine, and then the derivative of 4t squared is 8t. So follow the double hook and follow what I did. All right. Number 7, turn the page. Two more questions left, and then we'll do the assignment together. Simplify by factoring. So inside, I see 1 minus x and 1 plus x. Give me a moment to look at it. Oh, let's write this again. So that's at the end. So we have x squared. Something keeps beeping at me. I don't know why it keeps beeping at me. Alright, so this is 1 minus x squared to the 1/2. Let's just start there. This is the product rule. So the first is x squared, and the second is 1 minus x squared to the 1/2. So the product rule, the first, x squared, times the derivative of the second, subtract 1 to the exponent, and it has a hook of negative 2x. It's going to clear up. There you go. Plus, I'm going to continue down here. The second, which is 1 minus x squared to the 1/2 times the derivative of the first. So the product rule, and it says simplify by factoring. So you could factor out, could you factor out if you had to? What do they both have in common? Is you could factor out 1 minus x squared to the negative 1/2. So there's a 1 minus x squared. That would leave me with x squared. Is there a 1/2 too that both have? No. Oh, when I go 1/2 times 2, they eliminate anyways. So I'm just left with negative x cubed. So x squared times x, negative x cubed. I don't know what my camera's doing here. And then for the second one, I'm left with 2x. Now if I factor this out, it's just 1 minus x squared. So that if I add them, think of this as a 1. If I go negative 1/2 plus 1, they're going to be equal to what it was before. Anyway, be done with that. And then you could combine like terms in there, and you could rewrite it if you wanted to. So 2x times x squared, so it's negative x cubed, negative 2x cubed, so that's negative 3x cubed plus 2x cubed plus 2x all over so negative x cubed plus 2x, multiply this together, that's 2x cubed, that's positive, that's negative 3x cubed, and then 2x times 1 is 2x. And then with the negative exponent, you could write this as the square root of 1 minus x squared. It's just a practice for multiple choice. If you have the ability with the algebra to be able to match one of the answer choices. Number 8, this is the other idea of the chain rule. So the derivative of that is the derivative of the outside times the derivative of the inside. And then once you take the derivative, you're going to plug 2 in for x. And then you're just going to find values in the question. So q at 2, look at it, and the value is 3. So take it out and put in a 3. Q prime at 2, that's equal to 2. So plug that in. One more time, p prime at 3 is 3 over, no, that's q, where is it? Oh, it's 4. And then 4 times 2 is 8. Alright, Mr. G Math over and out. That was the lesson on the chain rule, and now you're really going to learn it as we do the assignment together in practice. Till next time.